Okay, so hi everyone, and welcome to the Strimzi Community Meeting on July 10th on 2025. So before we start, there are anything that you want like to share before going through the regular agenda? Okay, it seems not. So let's start with this list of PRs and issues. I actually didn't add them. So maybe the guy who had them can jump into it.
Yeah, I guess this one is from the last, community call we had, and because we didn't have Kate on the call, we move it to the next one.
Yeah, so I'm here this time so we can discuss it. So basically the summary of this one is, this is for the Kafka access operator, and when we were creating the Kafka access operator, we made decisions about which particular fields in the Kafka user secret we should copy across into the access secret. And we chose not to copy across the PKCS12 key store and key store password files, because in general we've been trying to move away from using the P12 files. Now you can just use PEM files. So we chose not to, and we said we will potentially add it depending on if there's people wanting it. Somebody obviously wants to add it. So the question is, are we happy to go ahead? Obviously, the downsides of adding this is it means we have to then support the P12 files. And since we've been trying to move away from it, I thought it was worth putting it to the community to see if there's a strong objection to adding it or strong feelings that we should. The argument that the user makes, which I think is a fair argument, is that actually they are currently still listed in the Kafka user, so why wouldn't we just copy across the ones that are in the Kafka user? So the Kafka access secret basically has all of the same content as what is in the Kafka user secret. But I thought I would bring it to the community to see if anyone had a strong opinion about this.
I think if we do it, we should not copy it. We should instead generate a new one from the PEM files to make sure it's independent on the P12 being in the user operator, and so that we can remove it from there eventually.
I like that idea.
Sorry, Jacob, can you repeat?
That I don't think we should copy it from the user secret. If we want to have the PKCS12 in the access operator secret, then we should create it from the X509 files so that we can actually remove the P12 from the user operator and we decide it without the need to update the access operator first.
So you are suggesting to remove the P12 even from the user operator?
I think that's something what makes sense in the long term.
Yeah, I agree. That was exactly what I was going to ask, if because we are using now PEM and Kafka, if we should remove that from the Kafka user side. So yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I'm happy with that approach. I feel like it is what the access operator designed to make it easy for people to access things, and it, yeah, I would plus on that suggestion.
So I think one of the challenges is that there are other users who think you will probably need to have OpenSSL to create a PKCS12 file.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a security risk for other users.
Yeah, we might want to. Do you think we would want to allow people to disable the access operator from generating that file?
It's not as much about disabling it. It's often that the presence of OpenSSL in the image is the security risk.
Oh, I see.
So I'm not strictly opposing this, but to be honest, it seems to me that it's quite a lot of work to fix an issue from one user, which possibly might cause issues to another user. So it would be nice, for example, if the person actually linked to the enhancement request for CAML to actually support the X509 certificate, as it's pretty much common across the Java landscape these days. But apparently they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I guess the key question we have to ask is, do we want to go ahead and accept this feature, or do we want to say, we understand why you want to add this feature, but we're not going to add it unless we have more users who are asking for it. And it seems like it's enough users that it's worth adding, even if you're having to add the OpenSSL, which could be seen as a security risk.
Yeah, so
I think it's a hard one because obviously we didn't include it for a reason, because we are trying to move away from it, but a user has specifically requested it, and I'm not sure there are that many users that are using the access operator yet. So if we have one user who clearly wants this, then in terms of percentage of users, it's probably quite a high percentage, but then we don't want to obviously mean that future users wouldn't want to use the access operator if it was a security concern. So
I think you can look at it also from the other side, right? If there are not many users using it, is it worth investing into it? So
yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, what's the investment? Because the user has created a pull request. And I think if we said, actually, no, we want you to do it this other way, I suspect they would happily update their pull request. So what's the investment? It's just review time. So it's not a massive investment. Obviously, you have to maintain the code. But in terms of...
well, it's the maintenance, it's the releases, and so on, right? It's answering the questions from the other users. Why do we need to use OpenSSL there, and so on?
I was looking right now at the pull request. How is it creating the P12?
So today it's copying the P12. So it would need an update, and it would be more complicated a change. The change at the moment is fairly straightforward, because you just take what's in the, you're already accessing the secrets, you just take the same thing. Like you can see here, it's just adding kind of an additional line that matches whatever we're doing previous. If we were going to generate the P12 ourselves, then that would be more complex and higher maintenance. I think it's a tricky one because we have kind of stated that we're wanting to move away from using P12s. We're putting a lot of investment in removing the reliance on P12. So then adding in this here feels contrary to that, which is why when Jakob suggested we just generate it, to me that solves the problem of why are we adding this when we're getting rid of it. We want to get rid of it elsewhere. Like that prevents us. It means that we can remove it from the Kafka user in future, but you still have the problem of we're then adding something that we've said we want to move away from. We're just adding it not in the main operator, we're in the access operator instead.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that we are trying to move away from using OpenSSL in the operator as well, right? For most of the pieces. The part of the certificate manager, I made some changes lately in order to remove some places where OpenSSL is used.
Yes, so I think that is possible, right? Because we're moving away from creating the P12 files. Is it? I don't think it's possible to create the P12 files without using OpenSSL, is it?
No, you need bouncy castle or things like that. So but we tried kind of to shrink the usage of the OpenSSL.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be valid for us to say ultimately this goes against the direction that we're moving as a project. So we're not going to add it. And if we get a lot more users asking for it, then we'll revisit. There's a reason why I brought it to this call, because my gut feeling wasn't, yeah, just add this. It doesn't seem like an obvious, yes, it should go in. But at the same time, I feel bad for the user because they've requested a feature that we could add. And I get their logic of it's in the Kafka user currently, so why isn't it available through access operator?
Yeah, it's a bit so unfortunate that we didn't remove from the Kafka user yet, so that the request couldn't come this way. Yeah, it seems there is no kind of overall agreement on what to do.
Well, so is there actually anyone who wants to do this?
That's what I was about to say. I feel like if nobody's strongly in favor of putting it in, then
Yeah, because it seems to me like nobody's really in favor of it, but nobody has really a strong opinion to kind of fight for it. But if everyone is slightly negative on this, then that probably defines the answer, right?
yeah, I feel like the overall feeling that I'm getting is that there isn't enough enthusiastic support for this for us to put it in.
Okay, let me try to put some good words for this here. Triage done 10.7. What we can say more, if this is fine right now?
I think maybe just adding yeah, as it stands today, we won't add this feature, but if there are many users, I don't know, do we want to say that? Do we just say, as it stands today, we would not add this feature unless there were other reasons, or
Unless there is a bigger demand.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to close as not planned.
Can you before you close it, can you just add and just tag the original reason saying like yeah, thanks for your work in raising the pull request?
Yeah. So you mean not closing right now?
No, do you close it, but just
okay.
Before
just...
you finish pressing the button, just add something saying like, you know, thanks for, you know, raising the issue and creating the PR. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
I guess you should close the PR as well.
Yes.
So while Paolo is closing it, should we take some steps to deprecate the PKCS12 in the user operator and eventually in the CA secrets?
Yeah.
Because like we said that we want to go in a different direction, which makes sense. But if we want to really remove them one day, then the first thing would be to deprecate them to give people time to stop using it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Any
Do you think that
volunteers to write a proposal for that?
I can do the proposal for that because it's sort of alongside the other certificate work, I guess.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Kate. Okay, so the first one was pretty long discussion, but useful. Let's move on this pull request.
Yeah, I added few of the pull requests that are a little bit long opened in the operators repo, so we can discuss if we can close them because there is no activity for quite a long time, and a little bit clean it up.
There's a proposal open for this
Yeah,
one as
this
well.
one,
I
there
added
is
the link to the proposal.
Yeah.
So I guess this proposal was opened on February 9. Jakub asked for change. I commented the proposal, and the last engagement from the user was on April 7th. Yeah, should we kind of tag the user and say if he's still interested in working on the proposal?
Yeah, I think we should, but I would also close the PR until it's, approved, the proposal, I mean.
Yeah, I'd say let's close the PR and say it can be reopened once the proposal's approved. And then on the proposal say, are you continuing to work on this? If we haven't heard back by the next community call, then we'll close it and you can reopen when you're ready to continue working on it.
Yep.
I forgot. Are we using the US way to set the dates? Let me see.
No, we don't.
We don't, right? Oh, there is no triage. Anyway, let me come back to this. Okay.
I mean, ultimately the date will be in the comment. So if you leave out the date and say just triaged on a community call or something like that, so that it's clear that the comment is not just your personal, but result of the triage, then I guess the date is not really needed.
Yes. No objections. I got this as an approval.
Yeah, it's good.
And what about the proposal? Tagging him for the if he's still interested, or
Yeah.
I will just ping him if he still plans to get back to
Yeah.
it. Funny enough, I wanted to work on this in February, but then this user opened the PR and the proposal, so I didn't work on it because someone else did.
Okay. I guess that this was the proposal, right? Yes. Okay. Next one.
Yeah, the next one is about adding, the configuration, but I guess it's currently stuck on cruise control
On the cruise
side.
control PR, yes.
So I was
agree.
wondering if we should maybe close it until it's, merged and released in the cruise control.
Yeah. Even because this PR was open more than 1 year ago. It's
Yeah.
actually even approved by one of the cruise control maintainer, right? But I was looking at this maintainer was asking for some other. Yeah, please ask for another review. Then I can help to merge, but no one came. And anyway, the user didn't, push for having more reviews. So yeah, I will be with you. I
Well,
will.
it's a bit hard when you are told, please ask for another review, but not told who to ask for the review, right?
I guess maybe it would be good to, tag the maintainer if he's able to. I don't know any of the maintenance of the cruise control project, but I guess it would be
Well, this
fine.
is the most active one.
Okay.
Yeah, I opened some other PR, but and even other people, but yeah, this is the one mostly approving and reviewing. So on my side, I will close this one saying that the cruise control one is stuck from a long time, and maybe asking on our PR to the user if they want to, ask help on the other cruise control PR to have reviews.
Yeah. Looks good.
Okay.
And this one is there for quite a long time as well. And I guess the last comment is from Jakub that the approach needs overall more discussion and consideration. But since then there was no actual, response from the user.
So yeah, Jakub, your doubt was about adding
Wasn't
the
there
save.
some issue as well? Because I think Kate was looking and commenting about this as well, wasn't it? Wasn't she?
It
Yeah.
was in the issue, or?
Oh yeah, I think under 11375. Oh yeah, no, the comments I was adding for this one was cert manager comments. And then I feel like maybe I commented, I don't know. I thought I added comments to the PR, but maybe I did it, I read it and then didn't add any comments.
So the last comment I made on the PR is related to how randomly it is rolled out. So I'm a little bit concerned if this might have some negative impact on some of the users. But it's not like I'm aware of any issues. It's just kind of general experience. But the way this PR handles this is that basically when new CA is being rolled out, if I remember correctly, it does so only for the CA, then it will basically roll this change out only when the certificate is renewed. So imagine we merge this into Strimzi 048, and technically the software change is rolled out to the users. But then for most of the users, you will have like another year plus when different users and different clusters will have different kind of certificates, which for me, that creates kind of a bit of a chaos. So what I was wondering with the last comment is whether there should be some considerations and some logic, like let's check if this needs to be somehow better enforced and better diffed, but then it's actually the CA, so I'm not sure if we can regenerate the CAs with the upgrade. That might not be that simple, but I think that's something what at least deserves some more consideration and some more thought.
So if I remember correctly, at the beginning, this was just for the server certificates. And it was me asking if the AKI could be added to all the certificates in the cluster, even the CAs.
So if it's only for server certificate, then I think it has the advantage is that if you really want to, you can quite easily roll it out to the server certificates with upgrade. So if you diff the existing certificates, whether they have this flag or not, you can decide to simply generate new ones. I guess the idea where exactly should this identifier be, whether it's only in the CA, only in the server certificates, in the user certificates, and so on, that's probably another thing which seems to be a bit not completely thought through, but the issue actually talks about the CA, it's not about the server certificates.
The implementation at the beginning was about the AKI on certificate generation for the brokers. And during the discussion, it was me asking for the CA.
Okay, that's interesting because the issue says that the issue is the absence of the AKI in the CA certificate.
Fails to connect.
Yeah.
It's below the codes, the second code snippet, when it mentions the RFC.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But you know, the The implementation is totally different, because if you see here in the code as well, it's related to the creation of the.
So I think the first comment the user added is when they clarified. So they said, I found out this problem is caused by broker certificates which don't have AKI now.
Yeah, yes.
And then when Python connects.
So that would at least make it easier in the sense that renewing the broker certificates should be pretty straightforward. And you can do it as a part of upgrade. In fact, we do that as part of upgrade from time to time. And for example, some names change in the server certificates and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's pretty much like the two unknowns I have there is whether this should be enforced as part of the upgrade, whether someone or whether in general we are afraid enough of some negative consequences to have a feature gate to roll this out, and whether we really want to have this only for the server certificates or whether it makes sense for the user certificates or the CAs and so on. So I think that would be something what, yeah, would be good to somehow discuss and answer first.
I feel like it's a complicated enough issue that it really all of the discussions need to be in a proposal rather than on an issue, on a pull request.
Yeah, I mean, the more we have questions, the easier it is to discuss them on the proposal rather than issues and pull requests, right?
Yeah. So anyway, the user clarified here in the second comment that the issue was related to broker certificates.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, as I was summarizing here, because of course I had to take a look at this AKI thing. It seems to be not mandatory, right? It's just Python to enforce this new version of Python. I don't know the other clients, what are they doing? So yes, I guess that better discussion will be on a proposal. So at this point, would you like to comment on the issue or on the PR?
I guess we should close the PR with a comment that it needs proposal and also comment on the issue.
So let's start from the issue.
I would probably start with the issue. And
Yeah.
if we want to close the PR, we can always close the PR and reference the comment on the issue, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Does it make sense? I will get the silent as something. Oh,
should we clarify there some of the things why we think it should have a proposal? So one of them you mentioned there, whether including the CAs and so on. Maybe you can mention the user certificates as well.
Oh, right.
And I personally at least would mention also a feature gate. At least as a point for discussion. And I would definitely want the proposal also discuss whether really rolling it out only next time the certificate is generated versus rolling it out as part of the upgrade.
Something like this, Jakub, or you think that could be better? Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
Shall we tag the user asking if he's still interested in looking at it?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense so that we know what to expect, and if not, we can add help needed or something, unless someone wants to work on it from us.
So okay. I guess we should keep or add at this point the needs triage again here to see next time if someone comes back to us. Or yeah, as you said, Jakub, changing to help wanted and removing the needs triage.
So I would remove the triage label and add needs propose label.
And when we will make the decision of adding help wanted, just offline, async?
I guess we can edit if we hear back from the original author that they are not interested in working on the proposal.
No, yeah, I'm only scared that if the author, okay, if the author is coming back to us and saying I'm not interested, then we get notification and we can add the help wanted.
Yeah.
If the author will not come back anymore, we are just going to lose this issue because we are not going to triage again. I'm just scared about the silence.
Well,
right?
it's not like anyone will pick this up because of the help wanted label, but yeah, feel free to keep the triage label on it and we can check it next time, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, now next one. It was still you, Lukasz, or someone else?
No, I guess it's from Mikhail, so
Oh,
we should
right.
maybe have a look on it as there is just one maintenance approval or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't want to merge that. Reason I added to the list. So when we had the depend about PR for updating to 391, people suggested, oh, why don't we bump to 4.0? And it seemed like a good idea. So I say, yeah, let's just bump to 4.0, but obviously it doesn't work. You can see my comment just above that explain why it doesn't work. just above the comment above yours, Paolo. Yeah, this one. Because 4.0, so the metric reporter depends on the Kafka client and Kafka server. And in 4.0, Kafka server does not support Java 11 anymore. So if we wanted to build this thing with Kafka 4, we could build the cloud metric supporter with Java 11. Well, if we want to keep support for Java 11, we need to build the client side with Java 11 and the server side with Java 17. I don't know how you would do that in Strimzi, how you would package it. I mean, the easiest thing is just to stay on 391 for now, but obviously there's gonna be an issue at some point. So I wonder if you had any suggestions or.
So what we do, for example, in the operators repo is that we have some modules which have the Java 11 language level, other modules which have the Java 17 language level, and then the whole build and test is running on Java 17.
Okay. Do you know? Well, I guess I'll go here at which modules and try to copy whatever you've done.
So it's the API module is definitely
API,
Java
yes.
11.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe I guess the stuff which it depends on, which might be some of the CRD generators and so on, they might be Java 11 as well. The rest is Java 17.
And then the build pipeline is all 17.
And then we actually don't kind of build or run it anywhere on Java 11 or test it. We just build and test it on Java 17, but it should be kind of, the jars should be compatible with Java 11 if you use it with Java 11.
Yeah, I mean, if this was not the case, this would be a Java bug, not in your code. Okay. Well, I guess I need to do something similar then for metric supporter.
Yeah, or like, I mean, my personal view is that if we want to drop Java 11 in the metrics reporter, I can live with it. If you want to stick with Java 3.9.1 for the time being, I can live with it as well, but I guess sooner or later you might need to use some Kafka 4 for something, so not sure how long that lasts.
Yeah, so we'll only have. I mean, the metrics reporter does not need any feature of Kafka 4 for now.
Yeah.
The only reason you would want to move is when Kafka 3.9 gets out of support. I would prefer to still support Java 11 as it's still supported in upstream Kafka even in 4 on the client side. So it's likely we'll have still users on Java 11. I mean, we're probably fine staying on 3.9.1 for a few more months, but yeah, figuring out how to do this probably is something we want to do in the near to mid term. I mean, building with different Java versions.
Yeah, so I mean, technically as a Strimzi, we needed to work with 4.0 and I guess soon with 4.1. But as long as that's fine while using 3.9.1 dependency, I think it's fine to stay with the 3.9.1.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've not tested with 4.0 or even 4.1, but yeah, I'm expecting it to work. There should be no changes in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Miguel, so are you going to close the PR?
Yeah, obviously it doesn't. Well, thanks to the test, we saw that it doesn't
Yeah.
build on
Yeah.
Java 11. I mean, otherwise I might have merged that if we didn't have the Java 11, so it's a good thing with this. So yeah, I'm gonna close this thing. While we're talking about the metrics reporter, I think we could do a release, or would the Strimzi mainnet be interested in doing a release, another release? I think I pretty much closed all the issues that were open. I think the remaining issues in the project are things that require proposals.
There is
Yeah,
no
I can.
change log in the metrics reporter, just to check what are the things that are new or no, right?
No, we don't maintain such a file, no.
I think we have changelog
there is-
only in the bridge and in the operator.
Yeah, I was looking at milestone anyway. The milestone for 03 has anyway a bunch of things. Some, well, bumping the Kafka clients. It's a good thing.
Well, that splits the reporter into client and server module. But
Yeah. Oh, yes. Right. This is the bigger thing.
So
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah.
would it make sense to double check it works with Kafka 4.1 before doing the release?
yeah, that's a good sanity check. Yeah, I can test that in the next couple of days while I'm.
Yeah, I mean, at least see that it works fine with the RC or something like that, so that we don't do 0.3 and then a week
Yeah. We
later
need that 04.
0.4 with the 4.1 support.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Miguel. Yes. There are no more PRs and issues. Let's move to proposals.
Yeah, this one is from me. Last week I opened a PR with the first iteration for a server-side apply, and then we had a discussion with Jakub about the feature gate and that the split of the implementation should have each phase should have dependent feature gate. So yeah, we agreed on creating a new proposal just to add more information about the feature gates, timelines, and what will be the affected resources and operators. So yeah, if maintainers could have a look at it, it would be great. I think that the 5 feature gates is a lot of feature gates, so I will shrink it to 3, I guess. One, it will be the core with the 4 core resources which we had most issues with. So the service account and config map and PVCs, then the Kuba and OCP resources, and then we can move the Strimzi resources.
So actually my idea was that you start the proposal with just the one feature gate you are working on.
Yeah, and I understood it like, let's write the timelines and other things for all other resources as well.
Yeah, the problem is that when you write it like this and when you design the schedule like this, is that you are actually working on the next things even before we get any experience with the first things.
So you are saying to remove all other feature gates and just keep the one, and then we can add more to it?
Well, I would at least, like, if nothing else, I think the timeline should be adjusted. Like we
Okay.
collect some experience with the first 4 resources, and then we see how it goes with that, and then we can continue on the rest.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
this way is too much looking at the future. I guess also that Jakub volunteered to have 047. So I guess it should be even upgrade.
I thought that we will have, or we will wait for the Kafka 4.1 before doing the 047. So that's why I added the 047.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, Jakub volunteered to have the 047 for having Kafka 391 support. So we are going to have a 4.1 in 048. Yeah, so at this point I will just, as agreed, focusing on the first feature gate, updating the timeline, and maybe adding some, I don't know, some notes at the end somewhere that the other feature gates will be for the future or something like that.
Yeah, I can do 2 tables actually, and then I can update
maybe
the
without a
proposal.
timeline for them, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I
So
meant.
just mentioning that so it's a no goal for this proposal, but it's something for the future, but with no timeline because it's not clear right now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the feedback. I will update it, and yeah, so if others can have a look. I don't know.
Also, I'm not sure the server-side apply makes sense for the custom resources because we don't really update their spec.
Well, I guess that was the part around the annotations and other stuff, right? So that's why I added it there. Because, it was part of the previous proposal as well, so.
Oh, okay.
Like, let's see if it doesn't make sense, we can, we can start with these 4. And if it doesn't make sense to have it for the other resources, we can just leave it as it is.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Lukasz. Okay, so because we are, there are just 4 minutes. If there are no objections, I will give you back these 4 minutes instead of starting the issue triage. I guess we did already a lot of issue triage. I will get silence as.
You, Paulo.
Yeah. Yes. Starting the issue triage just for 4 minutes doesn't make more sense. Okay, so thank you very much for joining, and yeah, see you again in 2 weeks.
Thanks a lot, Paulo.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Bye all.